Well, hello. My name is Gant, and welcome back to Crystalline. Last time we had the beach episode, and that was pretty cool. Sitting on the sun, playing volleyball, going in the water, fun all around. Then we saved the kid from almost falling to his death alongside of a cliff. And then we returned to the inn, trying to find the location of the Earth Water Temple. Then suddenly a man came by the name of Gingaling, the bard, and he told us where it is, and he will lead us to it. So, that is where we at right now. So, let us continue. The next morning, we meet Gingaling bright and early downstairs of the inn. He leads us towards the city exit, and soon we return to familiar roads. Our path takes us along the beach for a short while. The white sands glitter beneath the sunlight and filters ignoringly into our shoes. Eventually, we return to flat dirt roads and travel late into dusk. When the sun is finally creeping below the horizon, we stop a bit off the main path into a grove of trees to make camp. After the fire is lit, the savory perfume of dinner makes my stomach growl. We all gather together as we serve out the food. Kara sits close to Zach during dinner, her arms brushing against his I'm sorry, I'm messing up. Her arm brushing against his whenever she takes a bite of food. I catch Zach glancing at her every once in a while before quickly looking away. Sundari to the very end, right? Leanna scoots closer to Gingalang.
So, Gingalan, can you tell us some more stories?
I've been calling him Gingalang. It's Gingalan. Gingalan. He chuckles.
Oh, I don't know.
Leanna squirms.
Please!
Oh man, do it. She's a huge fan. Just look at her eyes. How can you deny that eyes right there, Please, old man. She moves even closer. Her eyes glitter with all kinds of excitement. I usually associate with children.
We'd love to hear one.
Amelia takes a tiny bite and then nods.
Perhaps one which is not as widely known.
Leanna beams at Gingalan.
Well, if that's what you wish, how can I refuse?
There's a heavy pause. After a moment, Gingalan takes a deep breath.
I loved a Shadowcaster.
His voice was low and sad. Really? You're gonna do a sad one? Why not a happy one?
I loved how her giggles shimmered with silver. I loved her moonlit hair, her star-flecked fingers. Together we wished, we teased, we played. She covered me in twilight, in soft murmurs and rain. I'll show you, my sweetling, she whispered, she soothed. My friends and their shadow magic are just misunderstood. But, little by little, her mind turned to dark flowers and violent meteor showers. Shadows poured from her mouth. She spat, she swore, she roared, splattering me with ink, with oil and ore. The night was too strong, too much underneath her skin. It flared from her fingers, her shoulders, her rings. She tore apart our friendship, our home, our dreams. Surely, her friends, dishonest and cruel, surely she had me fooled.
Gingaling pauses. For a moment, I'm not sure if he's going to continue.
I joined them and discovered too late the mistake I had made. They had been wrong, not her. She was trying to save them, to keep their magic pure. But the shadows, they whispered, they crawled and lingered. She fell into my arms, light as mist. Her power wreathed about her neck, her chest, her wrists. As she sobbed, she whimpered, "Please, take me with you. We'll cuddle in our garden of auroras. We'll build a house of starlight, of everything lovely and bright." But there was nothing I could do. She faded into twilight, into smoke and wind. I'm left with nothing but the memory of her left on my skin.
Dude, whew, I almost cried right there. That shit was teary-eyed. Like, shit, man. Like, I was like so hyped up for this video, you know what I mean? I'm like the first time, like, yeah, hype, gotta be happy. We're gonna do some shit today. Then this guy brings like all this downer shit, and I'm like, oh, now I'm sad, you know? I'm not gonna lie, it was really good though. It was really good. Oh my god. There's a thick silence. The weight of his story still hangs in the air. The moonlight casts over Gingaling's silver hair and beard, bringing out the dark shadows across his face. The fire crackles and pops. Finally, Gingaling bows his head.
Thank you for listening to my tale.
Leanna's eyes shimmer with tears.
That was so beautiful.
Yeah, no lie, man. Gingalan smiles, but it doesn't quite reach his eyes.
Thank you.
But it was also so sad.
This Weasley old man is using poetry to steal my girl. My girl, man. What is he doing? I just love all these options. Like, what the fuck? He's trying to steal my girl. Mio. Mi novia. My girl. My girlfriend. It was okay. No, it was heartbreaking. I almost cried, really. My heart caves in my chest. Wow. That's just a horrible thing to have to go through. I tried to imagine watching someone I love slowly deserated into madness. It couldn't have been easy. And then not having the power to be able to help or stop it. My heart goes out to whoever this was. It was beautifully written. Gingalan looks up at me. His smile is small and sad, and I think I see gratitude in his eyes. Does this story have to do with him? He nods.
Thank you.
Soon after we finish eating, Gingalan leaves to refill his canteen with water from a nearby stream. Leanna and Amelia goes into the field, but I'm not too certain what it is that they're doing. Zack and Kara clean up and seem very content to do so without my help.
Oh, that looks fun.
I look up. Gingalan is standing there, I'm sorry guys, it's just, I've never saw a word like that. Twang? I think that's how you say it. Retwang his canteen to his belt. What does? He nods toward Leanna and Amelia. I follow his gaze to see them practicing magic out in the field. Amelia waves her hand and sends a small fury of ice across the grass. The Pongo grins, hopping up and down with excitement.
Boy!
He bounces after it, making Leanna giggle. Her manipulator pulses blue, and a small gust of wind breathes out from underneath him. It makes him hover above the ground.
Boy!
It's okay. I got you.
Leanna's breeze glides him along above the grass, steady and strong. The Pongo's eyes light up.
Boy!
Leanna beams. She continues to push the Pongo along, gathering speed and momentum. She makes him soar across the grass, and he lets out a loud squeak of delight. Amelia spirals more and more ice and snow, her magic trailing behind the Pongo and glittering like the trail of a shooting star. Gingalan sits down beside me.
When I first met you, I felt like I could sense some magic within you too.
I mean, I have a manipulator, so that would make sense. Gingalan studies me. His eyes seem to stare deep within me, as if trying to unmask my secrets. Old man, there's so many secrets I have. You don't even want to know. Alright? I shift underneath his gaze. Does he already know about me? No. I'm just being paranoid. Shaking my head out of my head, I smile at Ginkling, who returns my grin. His eyes crinkle warmly as he smiles.
Admittedly, I'm curious to know more about you. Perhaps I could dedicate a whole verse about you and your adventures.
A verse? About me? He nods again, his smile bright and excited.
Where is it you hail from?
Asteria.
Yes, but where in Asaria?
Asaria, fuck. Just imagine, he's like, where are you from? Asteria. Do you mean Asaria? Yes. Somewhere far away, a small place, you wouldn't know it.
Try me. I am fairly well traveled.
I rack my brain for the name of a city or place, any name. I hate. I am from New York. The magical school of Hogwarts. The barren lands of Winterfall. Okay. So, we're either gonna say we're from Earth, we're in New York, we're a New York person. Oh my god. No, I don't know how New York people talk. I'm just doing like my fucking California girls. Ah! The magical school of Hogwarts and Winterfall. I don't know which one's that one, because I'm thinking of Winterhold like in Skyrim, or is it like what's the other one? Winterfell like in fucking Game of Thrones. The magical school of Hogwarts. I'm from New York. I'm gonna just do that because there's a exclamation point. It's called New York. Damn it, that's not what I meant to say. Ginkling blinks in surprise.
New York?
Yep, like I said, small place, tiny town, smallest town ever. Not many people have heard of it. Ginkling nods, looking deep in thought.
What is New York like?
People shop and go to work. It's pretty boring and super normal.
How odd. I haven't heard of it.
He fixes me with the same stare, and once again, I feel the anxiety rise within me. Does he know I'm lying? Ginkling smiles, falters, but doesn't press me.
Did you leave to study at the Mage Academy?
No, I'm gonna tell him the truth on that one. Leanna taught me. Like, I'm already fucking up. No, but I think it'll be fun. He's like, no, Leanna taught me. Fuck! Academy, yes! Fuck! No, Leanna taught me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for lying to you. Well, kind of. Not exactly. Leanna taught me everything I know.
Oh, are you training to be a Mage-Knight as well?
Kind of. She's been training me in both casting techniques and sword fighting. He nods.
I see. And how long have you been training with her?
How long has it been on Terra? It feels like a year, but it couldn't have been more than a few months. For a little bit, I guess.
Well, you must have a very high aptitude for magic indeed.
My heart stops. I haven't cast in front of him before. How does he know? What makes you say that?
Well, it takes a very skilled mage to be able to train into a Mage-Knight.
I laughed nervously. Yeah. Oh, right, of course.
Hey, what are you guys up to?
Oh, Leanna, thank God you're here. Please help me. Like, I don't know what to say to him. I'm messing up. I'm stumbling my words. I'm telling the truth even though I should be lying. He's gonna know that I'm not from Terra. You're not from Terra? Fuck! I look up to see Leanna standing behind me. She grins with her hands on her hips. Bits of her hair is sparkling from Amelia's ice magic. Just chatting. I shoot to a stand, Probably a little too fast, but I'm eager to get out of this conversation as quickly as possible. I'm feeling a bit tired, so I think I'm going to turn in early. Kingerling inclines his head.
Thanks for humoring this, old bard.
No problem, man, even though I messed up a couple times. I nod and shuffle over to the bedrolls. I see Leanna taking my newly vacant seat. The Pongo bounces over to me, shimmering from the magic.
Boy!
Did you have a good time, buddy?
Boy!
He jumps up and down, mimicking flying. I saw that. You did fly.
Boy!
He jiggles happily and nestles in beside me. It isn't long before I hear the others start to wind down for the night. I guess I was really more tired than I thought, because as soon as I fall asleep to the warm glow of the fire, someone's shaking me. I groan, blink awake. Everything still looks fuzzy. It's still dark out. What time is it? A blurry shape hovers over my face. Ugh. I'm shaking again, harder this time. What? Just go away. Fuck, man. I groan, and I blink again, squinting. It takes a few minutes for my eyes to adjust. Amy? Amy?
Yes, good evening.
She doesn't move. Her face is blank, but expantic. What's up?
I wish to be with you, in private.
What? What the fuck? I have a girlfriend. I hate this one so much. Hell yeah, I've been hoping this from the very beginning. No, you sick motherfucker. Is everything okay? No, if this was me, I would be like, oh, you're fucking young, what the fuck? What? Amy blinks.
Is this so surprising? I have been meaning to be alone with you for quite some time.
What the Oh. My heart kicks up in my throat. Excuse me?
In truth, I have been contemplating it since we departed the beach.
More and more heat gathers in my cheeks. She goes to pull me up, but I instinctively shift away and pull the bedroll tighter around myself. No, what are you gonna do to me? I don't feel safe. Leanna, please. Something's wrong with Amy. Like, something is seriously wrong with her. Amelia, I'm way too old for you. It's late. You should go back to bed. Amelia tilts her head. I mean, you're like a little sister to me, you know? I can't do this. You're way too young. A pause. Amelia's intensive stare lingers.
I do believe you have misunderstood my intentions. I wish to discuss information with you privately.
I stare at her for a few seconds, stinging and trying all of the... I stare at her for a few seconds, stringing and twining all of her words together. Realization rushes over me like cold water. You want to talk? Amelia nods.
Yes.
Oh. A blush burns in my face. An awkward silence settles into the space between us. But Amelia seems undetermined.
Please, come this way.
Okay. She turns on her heels with a twirl of her cloak and leads me off to the side, far away from the camp and the rest of the group. So, what is it?
I have been pondering the possibility for you casting without the use of a manipulator.
Oh.
I believe it may be because you've absorbed magic from the elementals directly. That reservoir of magic has been within you since the Fire Temple, and it merely has been a matter of unlocking your potential to cast from within to utilize the energy. The harrowing situation on the beach proved it to be possible for you to channel from within. After having ample time to think, I believe it will be simple for you to pull that energy again. If this is the case, then perhaps you are able to cast more than one element.
Am I gonna be a mage caster like you? My eyebrows knit together. More than one? She nods.
Thus far, you have only manipulated wind energy. That would lead me to the conclusion that despite the energy you absorbed, you were only using wind energy. If my theory is correct, I believe you may have untapped magic gathered inside of you, those of the other elements. It is only a matter of bringing that magic to the surface. Have you attempted to use another element before?
I shake my head. No, Leanna's been teaching me wind magic because that's all she knows, you know?
I see. Then allow me to show you how to use fire magic.
I'm gonna be a firebender. I'm not gonna lie, like, I love Avatar. Don't get me wrong, wind is pretty cool, but I've always loved fire, the Fire Nation. Well, not their ideas, but like, if I had to have like a power, a bending, it would be fire. Just imagine, like, you're just bored and you're like, you know what I want right now? I want a s'more. You get the fucking marshmallow and you just roast it a little bit, you know what I mean? Cooking would be fucking crazy too. Like, I'm hungry, but I'm outdoors and all I have is this meat and some salt and pepper, but no fire. Just fucking light your hand, like, put the steak over your hand and just light it up. I'm stupid. What, like right now? She nods and raises her hand. Flames blaze up and curls inside of her palm. Red and orange light flickers across her face. Whoa, that's awesome! Amelia doesn't smile, but I can see a sparkle of pride flicker behind her eyes. She closed her fists. The flames crackle between her fingers before flickering out with a puff of smoke. I like the part where it's like, you can see the pride in her eyes, like, she's like, damn right, it's pretty awesome. Because I made that, okay? I made it.
Now, it is your turn.
I'm the teacher now. Okay, how do I do it?
It is quite simple. Imagine the fire surging throughout your body. Imagine it flowing up your arm into your palm. If done correctly, a small flame should appear.
I nod and try to do as he says. I hold out my arm and close my eyes. My brows knit together in concentration. I picture flames coursing through my veins and out into my hands. A teasing worm tingles down the tips of my fingers, but nothing happens. I open my eyes, frowning. It isn't working. She crosses her arms.
This is a simple cast. Do not give up so easily.
Fuck you. Like, that's what Leanna said, and she had to kick my ass before I learned wind magic. Yeah, but maybe for you, it's not so simple. Sorry. Yeah, but maybe for me it's not so simple. It took me some time to learn the wind magic. She blinks.
Yes, but this is not wind magic.
I hate that so much. It's like, it is not the same.
Perhaps we need a different approach.
She pauses and taps her chin.
You mentioned that absorbing each individual elemental energy gave you a different sensation. Perhaps we should focus on the emotional response you felt.
The emotion? She nods. It's worth a try. Closing my eyes, I remember the fire elemental. I remember the courage and strength that rushes through me at her touch. The feeling gathers inside of my chest, coiling like a hot band of scarlet. I reach out and latch onto it. A crackle sparkling warmth bursts down my arm. I open my eyes. Red sparkles fuzzy across my fingertips. A huge grin splits my face. Whoa! Amelia calmly nods.
Try snapping your fingers.
I do as he says, and a tiny flame hisses and crisps, expanding into a larger one. I'm so excited, I almost start laughing. Sweet! She glances at the small flame and then nods.
Yes, good. Now, let's try this.
Good. I'm gonna be the best teacher. Just like last episode, I'm the best sand fort in all of Asteria. I will be the greatest teacher of all of Terra. Wait, what? The tiny flame puffs out. There's more? Amelia blinks.
Of course, you have only succeeded in creating a basic fire spell. As such, there's still more work to be done.
She's a lot stricter than Leanna. I hadn't realized how encouraging it was to have a mentor who shared in the excitement of my accomplishments until now.
If my hypothesis is correct, you should be able to combine your wind magic along with your fire magic.
Casting at the same time?
Correct. It is the same as any other cast. Focus on channeling your energy through your hand again. If it is easier, perhaps it would be best to summon the wind magic first and add the fire afterwards.
Is it gonna be like in Naruto when Sasuke and Naruto combined like they're both jutsus together when he threw that with the Risang Shuriken and he did the Aturamasu fire arrow. Amy waits for me to try, but I shake my head. Isn't this what mage casters do?
Yes.
And doesn't it take years of schooling to become a mage caster student? Even more than it takes to become a full-fledged Mage-Knight?
That is also correct.
What makes you think I'll be able to do it with no training and no rudimentary understanding of single elemental casting?
Your ability for learning is already expedited when you consider the length of time it took you to learn how to cast at all. Understanding those timelines, it does not seem unlikely that you would be able to quickly acclimate to double element casting.
Okay, I'll give it a try then. Reluctantly, I extend my hand. Instantly, a cool wind pours from my palms. Amelia's pigtails flutter in the soft breeze.
Good. Now add the fire magic.
How?
The same way you would normally cast fire.
How am I supposed to feel the same strength within fire and the feeling of freedom and weightlessness with wind? Searching from within, I try to balance the two feelings and combine them into one. A moment later, that familiar tingling sensation murmurs down my arm. Heat sparks across my fingertips. Fire, larger this time, blazes into torrents around my hand and wrist. I jolt back, expecting it for it to burn, but it doesn't. The wind groans and whips around the flames, fanning them larger and larger.
Stop.
I do. The fire and wind sputter out, and the rest of my strength slips away. My knees buckle, and I grasp, falling backwards from a tree against a tree. I slump to the ground like a deflated balloon.
Just as I expected.
Amelia blinks when she notices me on the ground.
Are you unwell?
Look at her face, like, get up, you little bitch! You pinche puto! Get up! We got a lot of stuff to do. We got a lot more training. We're gonna cram it in one night. The best teacher in Terra! I lean my head against the tree. I'll be okay. That was just a lot of energy.
I see.
She pauses, deep in thought.
Such a feat should have taken you significantly longer to learn.
She lifts her gaze back up to my face.
It might be easier for you to channel your energy because you have been absorbing magic directly from the elementals. Your progress seems to be accelerated because you are using energy stored directly from within you instead of a secondary source, such as a manipulator.
I nod, trying to take all of this information in at once. My body feels so drained. It's suddenly an effort to keep my eyes open or my limbs up. Amelia glances at me again.
That is enough practice for tonight. Perhaps it would behoove you to get some rest.
I let out a yawn. I'm pretty tired, and it is still the middle of the night. Her brows knit together in thought.
Although, if merely casting 2 simple spells in conjunction exhausts you to this degree, I do fear how including more elements will affect you.
What do you mean?
For you to successfully open a rift, you will have to engage all of the elements you have absorbed. To cast multiple elements at once may prove fatal if you experience such exhaustion from using just 2 elements in such a basic cast.
Then we just practice all the time, right? Build up stamina, build up endurance, then we'll be fine, you know what I mean? I remember when I was running, I couldn't, like, we have a track, the evergreen track, I think, right there. And, like, I could not run, like, the first, like, part, like, I could only run for, like, 30 minutes, like, actually, like, running. Well, jogging, okay? I was bad shape. Then, before this whole Corona thing, I could run around the whole track, which is, like, a mile long. I could just jog around it without getting tired at all, so you just gotta build stamina. Man, I wonder how my running is. I haven't been running... Fuck, when did this hit? This hit, like, March, right? Fuck, I haven't been running for a while. You know what, I'll figure it out. My insides freeze. That's a bit of an exaggeration, right? No, that's a bit of an exaggeration, isn't it? Amy shrugs.
Of course. This is merely speculation based on my observations.
Silence fills my head. It's an odd pounding, frizzy pressure.
Perhaps you will be able to gain the strength to cast all of the elements simultaneously.
What do you mean?
The more you use magic, the more accustomed you become to it. Just like muscles can be strengthened with stamina, your mind can be exercised in such a manner for casting.
Damn right. How long will that take? He hesitates.
It is no mistake that as you lack the years of training many other casters undertake, you tire much faster than others. At this time, it is difficult for me to estimate that.
So, like, a month? Like, cause... Like, this guy learned how to fight and cast wind magic, like, in, like, months. So, like, maybe a year, he could finally go home. My heart sinks. This whole time, I've been gathering energy from each of the temples to find a way home. But now there's a chance I won't even survive long enough to make it back. I fall silent. Amy watches me closely and grows uncomfortable with my disappointment.
As I mentioned before, this is purely speculation.
I nod, barely registering what she says. My head feels numb.
Given you are exhausted, it would benefit you to get some rest.
Amy hesitates again, as if unsure what to do next.
Good night.
Yeah, I don't know what you gotta do. I don't want to see you cry, so I'm just gonna go, you know, to bed, away from you. Well, good night. Night. She turns on her heels and walks back to camp, leaving me alone with my thoughts. I may actually never return home. My friends and family, I may never see them again. My brain vaguely reminds me that I should go to sleep, but my feet are rooted to the ground. There was always the possibility that I may not be able to open rifts and go home, but the hope was always there. It didn't feel like such a real possibility before. Should I even bother trying to cast a rift if the consequences are literally deadly? Maybe I could be happy here on Terra. I think about my travel companions and the adventures we have together. We've only known each other for a short time, but I trust them completely. Plus, the thought of losing Leanna makes me feel empty. My world is so much fuller and brighter when I can see the way her eyes light up when she smiles, or how she plays with her manipulator when she's nervous.
Can't sleep.
I spin around at the voice and see Gingalan leaning against a tree. Oh, you're up. He nods.
I heard a noise which woke me up.
I see. It was probably my casting. He peers at me in the dark.
Something on your mind?
No, it's nothing. Neither one of us moves.
Of course, how can I expect you to be honest with me when I haven't been fully honest with you?
I knew there was something suspicious about him, especially when he was asking all of those questions. Tensing up, I watched him warily. Honest about what?
The truth is, I had an ulterior motive for joining your group. While I do still believe you'd all make for a fantastic story, I joined to get to know you specifically.
Why me?
I saw you at the beach.
The blood pounces in my ears. Maybe it's not what I think it is. So, we were all... sorry. I gotta get into character. So, we were all there just hanging out.
I saw you cast without using a manipulator and save that boy.
My heart hammers in my chest, and I ball my fist. He saw me, and he sought me out. You must have been mistaken. That's impossible. Gingalan holds out his hands as a gesture of peace.
Please don't take that the wrong way. What you did was absolutely amazing, and I just wanted to learn more about you, to understand how you did that. I apologize if I came off too strong earlier.
Are you going to tell anyone?
No. I understand what it's like to be different from the norm, and how it can be both something special and a burden.
Slowly, I relax my fists. Dude, what are you gonna do? Like, I could tell, like, he's just, like, balling them to be like, okay, stay calm. But I could just imagine, like, if Gingaling would, like, be, like, pressing me more, like, I just ball my fists and, like, die, old man! Ah! You know?
I don't blame you for hiding who you truly are. Sometimes that's the safest thing you can do for yourself and others.
It sounds like he's talking from experience. I think back to the story he told earlier in the evening. Maybe there was a lot more truth to it than he lets on. Thank you. He crackles a smile.
So, will you tell me where you're actually from now?
I freeze, and he laughs at my bewildered look.
I'm just joking with you. If you ever do want to talk, maybe I can lend a little bit of insight. You don't get to my age without learning a thing or two.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks. He nods, then stretches. There's something about Gingalan. Maybe it's because he's new to the party and doesn't really know me yet. Or maybe it's because I just really need someone to talk to. But something makes me want to share. The words tremble out of my mouth. Actually, there's something I'd like to ask you. He nods. So, supposing you had a friend who was from somewhere else, and the only way for him to go home is so dangerous, there's a chance he won't survive the journey. Would you still encourage him to take that option? Gingalan rubs his beard thoughtfully.
I would ask this friend what he means by home.
I blink. His friends, his family, his entire life.
Do you think those people would want him to make a life or death decision just to return to them? Or would they feel better knowing he chose the path that would guarantee him a life he could live as he wished?
I never really thought about it like that. But then he's been stuck in his new world. But then he'll be stuck in his new world forever. Gingling shakes his head.
Life is a journey. There is no defined destination. And because of that, there are no right or wrong ways to travel along this journey.
I agree with that entirely. If you're new to the channel and have never heard me have my deep conversations, Alright, just give me 5 minutes, because this video's been long enough, so give me 5 minutes, then we'll try to end this, like, in a 10, okay? But give me 5 minutes. So, I agree with this entirely, man. It doesn't matter what we do right now. Like, me making these videos right now, they're neither right or wrong. Whatever I choose, even if I choose to quit, it's neither right or wrong. Don't get me wrong, I might regret it later down my life, but in this life, there is no way to knowing what is right or wrong. You define the path you choose. You get what I mean? And it's only you that determines if they're the right choices or bad choices. You have to live with those regrets the rest of your life. And that's why I do these YouTube videos, because I love doing them. And I want to risk, like, actually getting bigger subscribers and, like, making money off of this, you know? I may not know if this is the right decision, and I might fail. But I just love these videos, and I'm gonna risk it, you know? For my family. I want to help them, so I make these videos. Maybe one day I can help them. I don't know if this is right or wrong, but fuck it. It's the life you want to live. Don't let anyone tell you how to live. You decide if the life you take is a good one or a bad one. You just gotta decide. Okay, back to the video before I get into like a larger rambling on deep thoughts with Gya.
Perhaps one day, his journey will be safe. Or he may not want to go back. Perhaps another day, the choice will be made for him, or he can choose between both.
I feel myself relax as he speaks. He's right. I shouldn't give up hope just yet, because a challenge has been thrown my way. Oh, that's another thing, man. Just because life throws challenges at you, like let's say, I would say you want to be a doctor, even though I hate sitting in classrooms, but let's say you want to be a doctor, right? Just because, let's just say you're poor, right? And your challenge is financial wise, right? No matter what challenges are in your way, you just have to step back, look at the obstacle, and plan it out on how you're gonna take it down. It's like a fight. Well, like before a fight, you see a guy right there, right? He's an obstacle, and he looks like he's gonna kick your ass, and he will kick your ass. There's no like, he might not, no, he will kick your ass. You assess him, you look for weaknesses, and you go for it. You kick him in the dick, you kick him in the knee to like slow him down, you punch him in the throat, you bite his neck, you know what I mean? Anything it is to win. And that's how you look at a challenge. Like if you're gonna go for a fight, you look for the weak spots. You look for the spots where it's like, this is what's gonna take you down here and now. You know? And you take it. And yeah, maybe with the money thing, like if you're trying to get to medical school and money's a problem, maybe you like, I'm gonna get this job to fucking pay for it, right? Then it's like, I don't know, it's more expensive or something happens, you lose your job and the money's taking over you. It's like he punches back, now you gotta punch stronger, get back with the right hook, you gotta take a hit, hit him with the left hook, you gotta take a hit, hit him with an uppercut, you know what I mean? That's a poor analogy, but I hope you get what I'm saying, right? You just gotta plan out your attack, and you gotta plan. And always plan for the unexpected. Even if something does happen, have a backup plan where it's like, alright, that didn't work, but this one's gonna work. And you fight back, man. Okay, let's just continue. Thanks. That helped a lot.
Just remember that you have people who care about you, and will support you in whatever you decide.
No, it's not me. It's a...
Hypothetical friend, yes.
He winks at me, then stretches again.
Well, I think it's about time I try to get back to sleep.
Same here. It feels to me like Gingaling has experienced a lot more than typical bard. Maybe he's also had to deal with some tough decisions in his life. Either way, he's pretty alright in my book. We head back to the rest of our party in silence. Only the gentle breathing of my friends can be heard over our footsteps. As I curl back into my bedroll, I quickly drift off into a deep sleep. And that's where I'm gonna end it right there. I know, man. It's really good and I want to keep playing, but I gotta end it somewhere, you know? And this is a perfect way to end it. On like a high note, you know? Listen, I feel like I could have done this video like that part from the beginning when we started to where we're at, maybe like in 30 minutes. And like kept playing for like another hour, like another 30 minutes to make an hour, but you know what? This is a good way to end it. On some advice from Gab, even though I'm gonna look back at this and I'm gonna sound retarded and I'm gonna groan and I'm gonna be like, ugh. Then I'm like, alright, next time you gotta prepare to talk with your kid. I'm like with my kids, with my audience. I don't know, man. I may not know what life has in store for me, but I know it'll be okay. And I don't know what life has in store for you. I don't know what your struggles are right now, but hopefully you do okay, man. Or girl, or non, or trans, or whatever you are. You be who you want to be. You live the life you want to be. All I ask for you is don't hurt people, don't be an asshole, and let other people, you know what I mean, want to live who they want to be. Because, you know what I mean? You can't just put someone down just because, life is not where I'm supposed to expect it, but I'm gonna bring you down so you're down my level. No, it's like, don't be an asshole, alright? Just live the life you want to live. Be happy. Say fuck all these other people who want you to be someone else, and do what you gotta do, you know? Well then. I think that's it. No more. I could be rambling for hours. This could be like a fucking TED Talk, but no, I don't want it to be like that. So, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment about anything. I don't really care. It could be anything, like, yeah, why do you always talk these serious talks in what's supposed to be a fun little video? And it's like, I'm just a deep thought person. No, or that's what people say about me. I remember high school, they would be like, yeah, you're like a philosopher. And I'm like, okay, I just don't give a fuck. Okay, well then. Oh, and hit the bell notifications to see more whenever I post. Alright then. This is farewell. And as always, bye bye.